So we're thinking about the MasterCard announcement last week. Do you think this could be a major catalyst for crypto?
I think that the way to fail in crypto is to think that IP and patents are going to be your path to success. I mean, in general, look, I think that any of the incumbents are going to have a hard time in the space. It's very difficult. It's a dynamic space that you need to be focused on. So I think it's a quintessential disruptive innovation that's going to favor startups over kind of entrenched incumbents like MasterCard.
I feel like the last time we spoke, Spencer, Bitcoin was like $1,000 lower, or roughly. What do you make of this
More than that.
More than that. What do you make of this recent run, and do you think we've seen the lows in Bitcoin for the year?
It's possible we've seen the lows. I'm definitely expecting to see new highs. I mean, listen, I think prior times when I've been on the show, I've said expect to see new lows before new highs. That low might already be in. I think that Bitcoin is kind of a tinderbox right now, waiting for reasons to go higher, whether that's global currency wars, trade wars, whether it's an ETF approval. I think any number of catalysts could send Bitcoin exploding higher.
You know, we had BK here yesterday, and he was talking about the biggest hurdles for Bitcoin, and that is this sort of notion that ETF approval is just around the corner when there are actually still a lot of issues surrounding ETFs, namely the custodial issue. Where do you see us in terms of the innings, where we are for ETF approval with the SEC?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think everybody's kind of reading tea leaves here to try and anticipate what regulators are going to do. But my guess is sometime in 2019. I think that the SEC is going to be thoughtful and take some time. But listen, the cat's already out of the bag here. I mean, retail investors are already getting exposure to Bitcoin and crypto through companies like Coinbase. Institutional investors are already getting exposure to crypto via companies like Bitwise Asset Management and Coinbase. And then meanwhile, Europe already has crypto ETPs. Right? So these things already exist on the market. That innovation is going elsewhere if the SEC doesn't kind of get on board soon.
Hey, Spencer, it's Tim. By the way, it looks like it's a cold summer out there in San Fran. Take it easy. Ultimately, where do you guys care the most right now? You guys are allocating across platforms, across tokens. What's the most exciting part of this space right now?
You know what? The most exciting part of the space right now is actually in traditional equity startups, from my point of view. There's been a lot of excitement around crypto, and that's pushed up valuations to levels that we've been relatively uncomfortable with as early stage investors. So we've shifted our focus considerably towards traditional equity investments, and we're finding great opportunities there.
All right, Spencer, we're going to leave it there. Thanks a lot. Good to see you.
Thanks so much.
Spencer Bogard, Blockchain Capital.
I think the headline that explodes the whole crypto universe is some sort of regulatory framework around custodian. So if institutions can actually get some clarity about how these assets are going to be held and how they can report them, it's lights out. I mean, that's the big one.
So why wait for that?
Well, listen, I mean, there's
been
the
infrastructure has to be built, right?
I mean, so he just mentioned Coinbase is obviously the on-ramp for retail and also institutions. You know, Coinbase has made a bunch of announcements regarding this. They're prime custodian. They're trying to do this. Now they're waiting for the the regulatory framework. When that all happens, if it happens, he also mentioned that the SEC could actually.
I get that. I'm just wondering why, if that's a certainty, which
I didn't say it's a certainty. No, I say when that happens.
You're saying when that happens, but you don't. So wouldn't you want to jump in right now if that's effectively where you think it's going?
I mean, it just rallied from 5,500 to 8,300. It sounds like people are kind of that's part of it.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.